So I was reading Exodus 14, and I think I have something that will help you specifically. And I'm not saying that because I'm like that TikToker who's like, God is telling you this, but I think this is for everyone, and it can help you in your current situation because we're all sort of in that, I feel like. In Exodus 14, the Israelites were allowed to leave Egypt, and God set them free. And while they were leaving and they were in the wilderness, God says this about the Pharaoh. For Pharaoh will say of the children of Israel that they are bewildered by the land, and the wilderness has closed them in. So Pharaoh notices the Israelites, that the wilderness has closed them in, and he hears about it, and he starts to think. And then God says this, then I will harden Pharaoh's heart so that he will pursue them, and I will gain honor over Pharaoh and over all his army. So his heart is hardened, and he's like, that's an easy catch. Like, we're winning that. We're going to come and get them, and they're going to be our slaves again. So he comes in with this whole entire army, and then the Israelites see them marching at them, and it says that they begin to get afraid, they're scared, and they actually start complaining to Moses, because there were no graves in Egypt. Have you taken us away to die in the wilderness? Why did you bring us out of Egypt? It would have been better for us to serve the Egyptians than to die in the wilderness. There is no trust there. And Moses said to the people, do not be afraid, stand still and see the salvation. I'm getting somewhere with this, please just hold your horses. Then in verse 14 he says, the Lord will fight for you, but you must be still. Must. So if they aren't still, then it can't work. It won't work. And then the Lord said to Moses, why do you cry to me? Tell the children of Israel to go forward, but lift up your rod and stretch out your hand over the sea and divide it. So because of Moses' faith and the Israelites' faith, he's going to raise his hands, and there's a call to action. So he's listening to God now. And you know the story. The sea's divided, and the rest of Exodus 14 is literally a fulfillment of God saying, be still and I will fight for you. God allowed his children to get in a very uncomfortable spot to where it looked like there was literally no way out, because there isn't, so that he can gain glory, so that they can learn to trust him. It's like when Jesus sends the disciples into the sea, into the storm, just so they could be uncomfortable and he can come and save them and show them what's up. I love this part. It says that he took off their chariot wheels so that they drove them with difficulty, and the Egyptians said, let us flee from the face of Israel, for the Lord fights for them against the Egyptians. Enemy is fleeing now because of their obedience in being still and letting the Lord fight for them. You know, they didn't keep yapping to the Lord when he said be still. They listened. And then this is where it transitions into this other connection. Then the waters returned and covered the chariots, the horsemen, and all the army of Pharaoh that came into the sea after them, not so much that one of them remained.